fuck until while I'm beating him down, pumping beer, talking about partner, you don't retrospect something.
Damn, bro. You said 25. We ended up with 41. How does that happen? Well, because, Johnny Boy is a habitual line stepper, and he always puts in cute little things in there that probably don't really belong. Let's recap and see what we got here. So started off with Naughty by Nature with Hip Hop Hooray, OPP, and Uptown Anthem. I forgot that. I thought Uptown Anthem came later on. It was actually on the first album. I thought that was like from some soundtrack or... Anyway, Tretch. Tretch is like unsung, I think. I think he's one of the best rappers that never got his full props. I'm not crying for him. He's had a good career. I thought he would be in movies besides just porno films. I thought he'd become a great actor. Never happened. I'm guessing he just kept it too real. Obviously, he was good friends with Tupac. Ended up writing songs for Eazy-E and a whole bunch. He's like a ghostwriter for a lot of people. So Tretch, and I think Tretch made a song on Thug Mentality 99. So he got to get down with Bone. And I think they did a song with Tretch as well. So I think they traded verses. But Tretch, and Vinny's good too, but he's not Tretch. Tretch has got flow. He's fast. He was fast before fast. Tretch predates Bone. So I put Tretch at number 1 because he needs his props. Second, I put Chip Fu of the Fu-Schnickens. Chip Fu actually tried a comeback, I think, in 2012. Chip Fu was a phenomenon. La Schmoove, True Fu-Schnick. What's up, Doc? Chip Fu is also very unsung because he was tongue-twisting early on. He was very unique. He had a style of his own. Nobody could replicate Chip Fu. And I love when they did the song with Shaq. All right, so Queen Latifah, number 3. Queen Latifah showed up in the other top 25 list of harmony singers, and on this one, Latifah's Had It Up to Here. Now, Queen Latifah wasn't always a fast rapper, but I put this on here because I remember when Latifah's Had It Up to Here, I was young and I was so intimidated by her flow on it. Like, I was like, oh my God, Queen Latifah's so good. Just the speed that she had and the power that she had, the confidence that she had. Queen Latifah killed that song. And like that was the moment where I was like, Queen Latifah is a force. Because prior to that, she was kind of like almost like a house dance artist, believe it or not. If you look on her first album, there's like a lot of dance songs on it, like house music, like actual house music when house music was house music. Not a throwback, but when house music was actually like a current trending music type genre. So that's how she kind of started. And then her second album, she was still trying to figure out what's going on. There's like singing songs on there and other things, but Latifah's Had It Up to Here. That one, that's where I said, all right, Latifah is absolutely a force. She's the bomb. And then later on with the Flavor Unit, she was such a cool leader that they had Queen Latifah be their leader. And so Queen Latifah, hats off. She's awesome. And number 4, we got Informer. I see Snow's Informer referenced a lot on the boards, always on the fast rapper list. But if you look at that song, he's actually only rapping fast on the chorus. The verses seem fast because he's pronouncing words differently than in normal English. So I think that's what throws people off with that one. The alternate pronunciations of the words is what makes it seem faster than it is because it's harder to understand. But it's just the chorus. So go back and listen to the song. It's just the chorus. The verses are fairly normal speed. Number 5, Tongue Twista. This is, if you were wondering, yes, that is who we now know as Twista. But my cousin had the Tongue Twista album, and it was just kind of strange to listen to. I remember we used to listen to it, and he was credited as like winning the Guinness Book of World Records for fastest rapper. That's how we found out about him. And then we listened to the album, and we're like, yeah, sure, he raps fast, but it's like, it's so fast that it's not enjoyable. Like, I like the Twister that eventually came out with Do or Die, but early Tongue Twister, we had the album, and it was, I forgot the name of it, but I remember the single was Rat-a-Tat-Tat, and then Mr. Tongue Twister had the video, so that's why that's here. But it was just too fast that it wasn't enjoyable. But once Do or Die, Po Pimp, the style that Twister eventually developed, that is awesome because he's like the most, I guess, articulate fast rapper. You could understand the majority of the words Twista says nowadays. Back then, not so much. But he predates Bone by a lot. So, gotta always give Twista his props because he was doing it long before Bone Enterprise. And it's quite amazing when you think about how long Twista's career has been. Bone's been far more successful, I think, although Twista did a lot of features with a lot of famous people. But hey, there's room enough for more than one fast rapper. Here's the Tongue Twister. And there's the background. Just in case you guys didn't know, Tongue Twister had an album before. I think the name of the album was Running Off at the Mouth. That's what it was. Mr. Tongue Twister. All right, number 6, Freestyle Fellowship. I put Bullies of the Block as well as Boundaries. I didn't realize that Assy Alone was from Freestyle Fellowship, but I know now. And Boundaries is the one that most people refer to. And that's the second one you saw there. I didn't realize Daddy-O from Stetsasonic was on that song. And only because that video didn't show up a lot when I was a kid. I saw it a couple times, but it just never dawned on me. Or I guess maybe seeing Daddy-O back then wasn't as like starstruck as it is nowadays. So there's that. All right, this is the next one, the DOC. DOC was one of my favorite rappers as a kid. Ruthless Records. I'm sure you saw Eazy-E and Dr. Dre in that video, as well as MC Ren. And I think that other guy, Sibo, might have been in that video. But I put 2 of them, the DOC and the Doctor, as well as Portrait of a Masterpiece. Now, the DOC and the Doctor may not sound fast by today's standards. It may not sound impressive by today's standards. But man, I'm telling you, and any of you out there that heard it could probably vouch for this. When you heard, "And I'm the diggy doc, y'all, bumping it fresh, y'all," man, that was so dope, and it seemed so fast. I guess it was the way the beat was, and his just the power that he had on that song, man. That the DOC and the Doctor, it seems like a fast song to me, even though when I listen to it from like a non in love kind of perspective, it's like, why is this on here? It's not fast, but it seemed that way at the time. And if the DOC and the Doctor wasn't fast enough, Portrait of a Masterpiece is fast, as well as Whirlwind Pyramid. If you had the album, Whirlwind Pyramid was pretty fast. I didn't put that in here, but Portrait of a Masterpiece was fast, and it was so precise, and it was so dope. My favorite part in the song, I didn't put it in here, but it was when he goes, "Ha, ha, ha," and Dr. Dre goes, "What are you doing, man?" And he goes, "Man, Dre, I lost my breath." Dre's like, "Well, what the man, I lost my breath." I love that part as a kid. I mean, now it's kind of cheesy, but yeah. So the DOC and the Doctor, Portrait of a Masterpiece. If you never heard those, make sure you hear them. And also check out Whirlwind Pyramid. Check out the whole album. Dr. Dre produced that album. You know Dre only makes hits, especially back then. So very, very solid. There's not one bad song on No One Can Do It Better by the DOC. Number 8, Das Effects. They Want Effects and Mike Checka. Das Effects was like a gimmicky group. It's kind of interesting that Das Effects wanted to get out of their gimmick and become known as actual real rappers on their second and third album. But people were like, "Now get back to the stiggity bump stuff." Although I guess a lot of hip hop heads, a lot of my hip hop friends really did enjoy Straight from the Sewer. Or actually, no, it was the second album. I can't even remember it anymore, but that second album where they actually tried to present themselves as real rappers, a lot of hip hop heads did like it and did appreciate it, but it just didn't have that mass appeal that They Want Effects has. And man, when They Want Effects came out, what that did to my mind, 1, 2, buckle my, shoe, yabba-doo, hippity-hoo, cracker Bruce, so trick or treat, smell my feet, I'm drinking to drop the hits. So like they started that whole jiggity style, and a lot of people tried to imitate it or modified it as we go forward. But Das Effects definitely had their own style. They had their own lane, and they went away from it. So, yeah. All right, number 9, JJ Fad Supersonic. This one also shows up a lot on the fastest rap lists, and obviously it's just that end part. But Dr. Dre produced that one, and I think DJ Yella's in the video too. So that's another Dre classic, JJ Fad Supersonic. That was a big deal in '88, man. Everybody was, and I think it was in Rap God, and I think a couple other people recently have done an ode to it. But Supersonic, and the funniest thing is, I didn't realize how stupid the song was. I was like in first grade when it came out, so everybody was Supersonic. And like now when I look back on it, it's like, man, this song's pretty stupid. But as a first grader, it was awesome. So I'm going to stay in my first grade mode and enjoy JJ Fad to the end. And I also like to take this back to Bone. On the song Ain't Nothing But Music, Crazy Bone references JJ Fad, and he mentions that he thought they were attractive. All right, number 10, Kumo D. I go to work like an architect to build a round farm, so erect skyscrapers look like atoms. So this one, when this came out, I was like in fear of it. The instrumental, like when you're a young kid and you hear instrumentals for the first time, the way that the way the beat was, it made me scared. I felt like I was watching a horror film. Like I was actually in fear of Kumo D. I go to work, and I'm one of the biggest Kumo D fans in the world. Like, How You Like Me Now? You have no idea. I probably heard that song more than Modi has heard it. But when this one came out, I go to work, I was in fear of it. I was in fear of his power, of how fast he rapped, how precise his rhymes are, and how intelligent his rhymes are. Like, that song is so intelligent when you go back and listen to it. I think the first verse is him talking about being a doctor. The first one's him being an architect. The first verse is an architect, second verse is a doctor, third verse is something, it's like all different occupations, and he's explaining the whole, the description is incredible, the speed is impeccable, the video's a little silly, it's like a 007 thing, but at the time, I thought I Go to Work was the fastest song in the world, and trying to memorize it just seemed like such an impossible task for my young mind. Now it's like, no problem. I'm not in fear of it anymore, but it was intimidating. So props to Kumo D. I watch Kumo D's, anytime he does a public speech, I watch it. I love hearing Kumo D speak. I don't know if you've ever seen Kumo D. And actually, I got a funny Kumo D story with Crazy Bone. And this, you guys probably won't like this story, but this story is like the failure of my life. Probably my only regret that I have. And the moment and the timing of everything was like where the universe wanted me to have this experience. So you have my childhood hero, Kumo D, with my teenage hero, Crazy Bone. I think I was still a teenager. I think I was 19. Maybe I'm 20. I don't know. They're both on BET. They're both sitting on the couch. I forgot the show. But they ask Kumo D about drugs, and he says, I've never done drugs. I've never drinking alcohol. I've never done anything. That's why I called myself Kumo D, to show you that it's cool to do the right thing and to live a positive life and be healthy and stay in shape. That's cool. And then they had Crazy Bone, complete contrast, and they asked Crazy Bone how much marijuana he smoked, and he mentioned that he smokes 2 pounds a day. Oh, and by the way, when Kumo D mentioned he didn't do any drugs and didn't drink, everybody on the set was kind of like, what a lame. Like, nobody cared. They were just kind of like looking at each other like, man, this guy's a square. This guy's a lame. And then they got to Crazy Bone, and they asked him how much he smokes. He's like, oh, I smoke like 2 pounds a week. And they were all like laughing and giggling and thought it was the coolest thing in the world that Crazy smoked so much pot. And I remember being there at that moment, seeing like the tale of two lives, seeing who I once was and aspired to be and who I became. So Kumo D was what I once aspired to be, and I held all those values, but then I just got worn down by society, by everything that shifted in around 93. You got the Chronic, you got Cypress Hill, you got Bone Thugs, all this pot stuff. So eventually, you lose, and you had, I didn't inhale and all that. So I sacrificed my values for the group. And to this day, I wish I was Kumo D. I wish I kept my integrity and did it the Kumo D style, but I didn't. So that's my only regret in life, is I didn't stay cool like Kumo D. But I probably wouldn't be here if I didn't. So that's whatever. But that's my Kumo D story, and that's what I always remember Mo D for, is for being a stand-up guy, sticking to his principles, and never breaking them for anybody. So I was just young, and I didn't have the appropriate self-confidence, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that's Mo D. Number 11, Big Daddy Kane. How you get a record deal. And I mentioned this one on another Bone video where I was showing Big Daddy Kane being a potential influence on Crazy Bone. So nothing really additional to say on that. Go check for that video if you haven't seen that. But Big Daddy Kane was also a favorite rapper of mine as a kid. And yeah, it's a cool video. Track 12, number 12, MC Shy D, Gotta Be Tough. This was one of my cousin's favorite rappers of all time. you may not know MC Shy D. Well, you probably know him from "Come On, Shake It, Come On, Shake It." And MC Shy D, he was on Luke Records. I think he initially was from Atlanta, but then, getting with Luke Records, you come to Miami. I'm from South Florida, so MC Shy D, Power 96, big deal. So got to be tough. And he was like a fast rapper. Even when he wasn't rapping fast, like on Shake It, it sounds like he's rapping fast because the beat was so fast. Number 13, Black Sheep, The Choice Is Yours. This song, man, Dress, I don't know why Dress is not remembered more for being a really awesome rapper. This song is one of the coolest rap songs ever made. At the time, it was really appreciated. When this song came out, it was a huge deal. I think it might have won an award because it was, to me, it was the song of the year. The year that song came out, this or that, this or that. Who's the black sheep? What's the black? This was the jam. The whole album wasn't as good, but Dress on this song is the bomb. That's his, man, just go re-listen to it and listen to his flow. It is phenomenal. So I love Dress and Black Sheep. If they came out with a new album, I'd check out for it. 14, Paperboy, Diddy. This song, believe it or not, changed my life, my perspective. It didn't change my life. It changed my perspective on life. I did not know about Paperboy until I saw that I was looking through the racks and it said #1 on Billboard, Diddy. And I thought to myself, how have I never heard of this guy? How have I never heard of Diddy Paperboy? So I ended up buying it. And it's funny because, like, I couldn't understand his flow at the time. I loved the song, but it was like I couldn't hear the words he was saying. It was so weird. Like, now I hear the words and I enjoy trying to pick up what he was talking about. But it was just so hard to hear. He was pronunciating words, but it was just the way it was recorded. It was hard to hear. But this song is dope. Diddy, Paperboy, Crazy Bone ended up doing a song with Paperboy, maybe more than one. It's cool that Crazy went back and made sure to get all the fast rapping architects there. Diddy's a fun song, and it's kind of remembered. I think it's more of a West Coast thing. I don't know. But yeah, Diddy, Paperboy, it's like his only hit. It's a good song. I enjoyed it. It has its place in time. 15, JT the Bigger Figure, Game Recognized Game. Now this one is kind of a long shot, far-fetched. What I found interesting about it, though, is he mentions the first of the month on it. So this song is considered a fast rapper type song, or maybe it's referenced because he says first of the month before Bone. Not that first of the month is like invented by Bone, but you know what I mean. So I don't have much to say about it. It's just I wanted to put it in there just in case because I see it on a lot of lists. I don't really think it's a fast rap song, but there it is. 16, BG Knockout and Dressed Up from Real Compton City G's. Really, it's an Eazy-E song. And, BG Knockout and Dressed Up, it's pretty self-explanatory. The Dre Eazy-E beef, the short story of it is I stuck on Eazy-E's side during the whole beef. So at the beginning, I did not get the Chronic because I wanted to stay loyal to Eazy-E. But over time, I finally said, all right, let me get the Chronic. Let me just do it. I think it was when Dre Day came out. Like, I tried to stay away from Nothing But a G thing because that got so big that it just became, like, everybody knew the words to it because it was the easiest song to rap. And I just thought people were, I never liked Nothing But a G thing. But when Dre Day came out with that modified P-Funk beat, dun, 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 that was intimidating. Like, I felt like that's when Death Row finally invaded my life. And they were like, nah, we're better than Ruthless. So Dre Day was it. Oh, by the way, if you never heard Cowards in Compton Get Sprayed and Dade by 2 Live Crew, actually it was JT Money, Clay Varsier, and Luke. It was on a Luke album, Cowards in Compton. It was a diss track against Dre. So that was for South Florida. South Florida's diss on Dre. All right, what do we got next? 17, Home Team, Pick It Up. Home Team is from South Florida, Miami. They were part of Luke Records. In fact, one of the members is Debonair from the Poison Clan. Pick It Up, Pick It Up. I don't know if this hit your area, but Pick It Up was always on the radio everywhere you went in Miami around the time period. Pick it up, pick it up. Everybody that had hydraulics, it was always played during the hydraulic competitions. So Home Team, Pick It Up. It's a cool song. The flow was cool. The whole album was cool. I had friends that knew all the lyrics to the whole album. They were huge Home Team fans. So Home Team. And I was happy that Poison Clan, Debonair, got his shine on. I forgot the other guy's name, but he also was involved with Two Live Crew and stuff in the past. All right, this next one. 18 Young Black Teenagers. Tap the bottle in, twist the cap. This song, well, the name Young Black Teenagers, obviously they weren't young, they weren't black, and they weren't teenagers. They were like 20-year-old white guys. The song was like a minor success. I don't really think it was that big of a track. I never saw anybody really get into. I don't know if it succeeded. The way they got that name was they lost the competition to Leaders of the New School. So in reality, had these guys won the competition, they would be the Leaders of the New School, and the Leaders of the New School would have been the Young Black Teenagers. And I think for both of their sakes, both of their careers probably would have wound up better with those names, but it didn't go that way. And I think it was Chuck D and Hank Shockley that put together that competition. All right, number 19, Spice One, Sing the Blues. Now, when this came out, I was so shocked to hear his flow, and then I heard Bones' album like the same week, and I remember thinking, like, how did Spice One learn this style out of nowhere? Like, they were like back to back, and I was thinking, there's no way. There's just no way. So this was my favorite song on the album. I played it a lot back when it came out. If you don't have Sing the Blues in your collection, you should check it out. It was cool hearing Spice One trying to do the style. And this is when the style first kind of like came out the way Bone was doing it. So now you got number 20. Well, and by the way, Spice One is one of Crazy Bone's favorite artists. And I had Spice One's first 3 albums. After that, I kind of like lost interest. I really loved that first album, Welcome to the Ghetto. And then 187 he wrote was okay, but it wasn't as good. The first album, Welcome to the Ghetto, is like a classic. Every song on that one's good. 187 he wrote, it's okay. All right, next. Number 20, Outkast, Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. I remember getting Outkast first and hearing their style and trying to imitate that. It's funny, Crazy says on Handle the Vibe, what an incredible style is what you were saying when you tried to get it down. And I was trying to get Outkast style down, and then Bone came out. And I just remember at nighttime, I'd listen to both Southern Playalistic and Creeping on a Come Up back to back. And I can't remember who I liked better at first. Maybe it was Outkast because I had that piano version of Players Ball. I love the reprise, Players Ball reprise. But they both came out around the same. Outkast beat them to it by a couple months. That album is also, as Big Boy said on Skewed on the Barbie with Raekwon, he said, I gotta hit the source to get my other half of mic because that Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music was a classic, right? And it was. That was a really cool album. And it got bad ratings from other magazines. I don't know why. That was a really cool album. All right, 21. This next one, 21 Mary Poppins, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. The funniest thing is Mary Poppins is a big influence on that Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music title, as well as the Das Effects song. They said Supercalifragilistic. And I think on one of the other Fast songs, I'm pretty sure Chip Fu of Fushniggins at one point said it. So Mary Poppins influenced hip-hop. It's funny to say. 22. Percy P, Lung Collapsing Lyrics. Now, I will confess, I'd never heard of Percy P. Maybe I heard of him, but I never heard Lung Collapsing Lyrics. I didn't know about this. I knew about the song he did against Lord Finesse later on, but I never heard of Lung Collapsing Lyrics, so I got that from watching other people's videos. And I don't have anything really to reflect on with Percy P, but it was pretty cool. He had a pretty good fast rap style, had good flow, Percy P. Now this next one, 23 Eminem, Unrealistically Graphic. I think this one predates Infinite. I didn't know about this one either. I think I saw this on the same video I saw the Percy P video. So I can't take any credit for that. I'm just curious to know how you felt when you first heard the Eminem Infinite album. I felt like it was a completely different spirit. I was like, I know it's the same voice. I know it's Eminem, but it just didn't feel like the same person. It felt like Slim Shady was a completely different person. Not just a different character, but a different person than Eminem. And that Infinite album just warped my mind. Warped it in a way where I was just so confused. My mind was like, it's not the same guy. 24, Jaz-O, the originator. Jaz-O, even at the time period, like he always got props for being a great rapper. I just never saw it that way. I think his album was Word to the Game was the first cassette tape I ever bought on clearance. I paid 99 cents for it, and I was blown away that I could get an album for 99 cents. I couldn't even imagine how the store could make any money on that. But I had the Jaz-O album, not realizing Jay-Z was on it. But there you go, the originator. And remember, Bone had that song with Khaled, the originators. I wonder if Jaz-O's song is what inspired the name. And that came out in 90. I remember Jaz-O and Jay-Z did like an MTV Rap promo. But yeah, I always hear about the Hawaiian Sophie fame. Jaz-O, Jay-Z. So 25 is Jay-Z, the originator. And as well as Can I Get Open, Show and Prove. Pretty crazy knowing that Bizzy Bone battled Jay-Z. And we all think that Bizzy smoked him. But, you know, looking back on Jay-Z's style in 1990, you're like, man, I don't know, man. Jay-Z, he was pretty fast back then. And it's funny just to know like how successful Jay-Z's become, that he put away the fast rapping and just does what he does now. Seeing him on Can I Get Open with Original Flavor, his style was awesome on that. And then Show and Prove. The funny thing about Show and Prove, I don't know if I told the story already, but Show and Prove was like a posse cut on Big Daddy Kane's album. Old Dirty Bastards on it, Shaheem, a couple other rappers are on it. And when it came out, like everyone was all about the Old Dirty Bastard verse, and this is like at Wu-Tang's height of their popularity, right before Wu-Tang Forever. But you know, Old Dirty was Old Dirty. He was still alive. My cousin told me, he said, "Mark my words, cuzzo, this guy right here," and he was referring to Jay-Z. He said, "This guy is going to become the biggest rapper of all time." He's like, bigger than all your heroes, bigger than Tupac, bigger than Biggie, bigger than Kane, bigger than Rakim, bigger than Nas. He said, Jay-Z, this is when Show and Prove came out. This is before Reasonable Doubt hit. He's like, mark my words, cuzzo. Just remember this. Remember this moment. Jay-Z. And actually, I don't even think he knew his name was, because he had the Original Flavor album. So he did have like a reason to know. He also had the Jazz album. But he said, I didn't believe him. He said, Jay-Z will become the biggest rapper of all time. He's like, he's going to dwarf all your heroes. And I just thought, no way. No way. Sure enough, my cousin doesn't make too many proclamations, but when he does, they usually come true. That one was the biggest long shot at the time. But I didn't forget it. He said, remember this, and I remembered it. And I asked him later on, I said, how did you know? He's like, come on, cuzzo. Who introduced you to the rap game? And it was true. So I still don't know how he knew. But Jay-Z, Can I Get Open, Show and Prove, the originators. Jay-Z had skills. He still does. So here's the Jay-Z. 26, Treacherous 3, New Rap Language. Now, you know one of the members of Treacherous 3 is Kumo D. And I thought that live performance of them doing it as old guys, that happened after 94. But the song came out in 1980. And I just wanted you guys to see that performance, how quick and perfect their verses were and how they all came out of each other. I thought that was so killer. Old guys doing it like that. And Modi needs to lose some weight, though. But that was awesome. That was professionalism. I'd loved seeing that New Rap Language, really good rap styles on. Like I think this song here, New Rap Language, is probably the best fast rap song of all time, considering it came out in 1980. And their style is just remarkable on it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best of all time, but that one is impressive looking back on it. And Modi was on it. And you know what I like about Kumo D too is like he masters everybody else's style. So like I watched him do a Chuck D performance as well as like a whole bunch of other rappers from his era. Because remember, Modi was always like the elder to everybody. And so he did all their styles. It's cool. If you get a chance to watch Kumo D talk, check him out or his interview show or whatever. All right, 27, Chubb Rock, 1990, Chub Rock jumps up on the scene with a lean and a hardcore dream. Treat 'em right. 1990, Chub Rock, dude. Chub Rock is actually listed as a fast rapper. I always thought that song was fast. It was cool. I don't know if you were around for Treat 'em Right. I was always impressed at how popular it became. I think people like the beat. Chub Rock himself was never really like a celebrity, but his song was popular. So there's Chub Rock, and he did a lot of other stuff, but I think he's best known for Treat 'em Right. And I always enjoyed Chub Rock. Like all my heavier friends always liked Chub Rock. Like he was their guy. So I like the heavy rappers. 28, LL Cool J, Jinglin' Baby, and Let's Get Ill. The Jinglin' Baby, it was like a remix. I felt like there was a lot of marketing money dumped into the song. I never really liked the song, and I was a LL Cool J big fan, but I never fully liked it. I liked it because like it was forced down our throats that we had to like it. Like I feel like he put the most money into that particular single, and I don't know why, because it's not one of his best. But it was considered a hit, and the beat on it made his verse sound fast. So I think this song has some kind of historical factor to it. Not that it was a good song, and I never really knew anybody that actively liked this. They all knew the chorus, "Jinglin' Baby." It was annoying, but I don't know anybody that liked that particular song. I think everybody liked other songs by LL. But Let's Get Ill. I think this is one of the best rap songs ever written. So if you ever look at, I might even make a video on this channel just to show how cool this song is. Most of the lines start with the letters LL. So there's a lot of alliteration to it. Because at the time, people wanted to know what DMC stood for. DMC stands for Devastating Mike Control, but it's really Daryl McDaniels. And everybody wanted to know what LL Cool J meant. Nobody knew yet that it meant Ladies Love Cool James. So that song, because this is on his second album, Bad, which was an acronym for Bigger and Deffer. So it starts off, "I'm the ladies' love, legend in leather, long and lean, and I don't wear pleather." And the whole song is all words that start with the letter L. And I thought that was pretty dope. Although, I always liked when songs like that are written, and there's another song on the album that's written just like that. Well, it's a good story. It's called My Rhyme Ain't Done. And it's him telling the story of meeting all 52 cards in the deck of cards, which was really cool. Now, Nas later on made that song about his gun, and I thought that was cool, and another one about his pen and paper. But LL beat them to it. LL Cool J is a really good rapper that most people just think of as an actor now, or as a gimmick, or as like a love artist with like Mr. Smith. But his first 4 albums, well, his first 2 are kind of like the same, Radio and Bigger and Deffer. It feels like that's all just one big long album. But Walking with the Panther was like a whole new guy. And then he reinvented himself again on Mama Said Knock You Out. And then really went into a whole nother level with 14 Shots to the Dome. And then like took a hiatus, became an actor, and then came back with Mr. Smith. And that was like a complete other reinvention. And that's where I kind of like stopped listening to LL, but he was good at reinventing himself, and he brought so much new stuff to the game. He's not really recognized as being the legend that he is. I mean, everybody knows him. He's a famous actor, but his contributions to rap were gigantic. All right, 29, Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. I thought Craig Mack was going to have a long career, and he didn't. And I think he was the first artist on Bad Boy Records. That song, Flavor in Your Ear, is one of the coolest rap songs of all time. I hope that's on the top 100 all-time rap song list, because Flavor in Your Ear, man, that had a place in time. That song defined that year. Craig Mack, 1,000 degrees, you'll be on your knees, and you'll be burning, begging, please. Bro, that song was killer. And like that was the first song to have the remix. I think that's why Big Puff Daddy said we invented the remix. Like that kind of a remix. I remember the Flavor in Your Ear remix with Biggie. It was like LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes. I can't remember if Redman was in it. Some dude named Rampage, if I remember correct. Flavor in Your Ear remix was it was almost as big as the original song. So Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear, rest in peace to Craig Mack. I thought he would have more than he did, but And I don't know why he couldn't recapture the magic. But he did. He couldn't even like have another real single. Like he had other singles, but nothing came even close to Flavor in Your Ear. One hit wonder. It's weird. All right, number 30, Eric B. and Rakim, Know the Ledge. I think this is one of Rakim's absolute best songs. It was in the movie Juice. The movie Juice made the song seem even better, but it when you look at that little snippet I put in there, Rakim's flow on this song, I'm saying Know the Ledge is Rakim's best. I'm sure you guys will disagree, and it's okay. Feel free. Let me know what you think Rakim's best is, but flow-wise, the speed, like that was Rakim's finest hour right there, to me. And that movie Juice was such a big deal. Cool soundtrack. I don't know why Tupac wasn't on the Juice soundtrack, but I guess it's because the same day Tupacalypse Now dropped. I don't know. But yeah, Know the Ledge, Eric B. and Rakim. 31, Leaders of the New School, What's Next? Bro, this song and video was so important to my life. Me and my childhood buddies used to like record ourselves with the camera pointed upwards so we could jump on in front of the camera and rap just like Busta Rhymes and do all of his hand motions. Oh, yes, I got a funky hopscotch game going on, getting strong. And all that video was filmed so cool. I want to know who filmed that video because I want to see more videos by that video director. I love the What's Next video. I also loved the other video they had, Classic Material. Classic. Busta Rhymes is classic. Dinko D is classic. Busta Rhymes, this is before Busta Rhymes was a solo artist. I was a big fan of Leaders, especially that album, Time. Time was an acronym for The Inner Mind's Eye. I absolutely love that acronym, The Inner Mind's Eye. I love that album. The album's really not that good, but we played it so many times. It had a lot of bass. Their rhymes really aren't that good, but they're so much fun. Busta Rhymes is fun. Charlie Brown is fun. I always thought Milo was kind of below average. Dinko D was about average, but Charlie Brown and Busta Rhymes were awesome. I always thought Charlie Brown should have had a bigger career. I think his verse on Scenario is the most powerful and memorable. Busta Rhymes is rah, rah, like the Dungeon Dragon, but sunrise to sunset. Yes, you will remember, born on the 19th day of September. Was it the 18th? East Coast stomping, ripping and romping. More bounce to the ounce. Yeah, man. Scenario was, I think a lot of people thought that Leaders of the New School were Tribe Called Quest and Tribe Called Quest were Leaders of the New School. And because Scenario was on the Leaders of the New School album, the Low End Theory, I think people went with Tribe and didn't realize that their favorite verses on it were by Charlie Brown and Busta Rhymes. As I combine all the juice from my wine, heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind, powerful impact, boom from the cannon. Man, Busta Rhymes was legendary from out the gate. But yeah, Leaders in New School, What's Next? Check that video out if you haven't seen it. It's filmed so cool. I don't know how they did it. I feel like the guy that did that video probably also did one of the Farside videos. I can't remember the name of it. It was Drop. I think the song was called Drop. It sampled Beastie Boys. Drop. But the whole video is filmed backwards. The whole video is in reverse. Farside was cool too. I bet you the Farside had a fast rap song that could have made this list. Who knows? All right, 32, MC Luscious. Boom, I Got Your Boyfriend. This one is kind of digging in the barrel. MC Luscious, Boom, I Got Your Boyfriend. I think more people knew was it the Boys from the Bottom that sang Boom, I Got Your Girlfriend? But they didn't really rap that fast on it, whereas MC Luscious is kind of fast. A lot of rappers at the time kind of had that speed, though. Well, Miami Bass kind of had that kind of speed. The Boys from the Bottom. It's funny. I haven't even said that name in a long time. All right, 33, Moni Love, Moni in the Middle. Moni in the Middle. Where's she at? In the Middle. Moni in the Middle is friends with Queen Latifah. She had this song. Yo MTV Raps used to play this all the time. They really tried to make Moni Love a star. I think she became like an actress short term. But Moni Love just never kind of blew up for whatever reason. It was a cool song. She had like a British accent. I thought that was going to help her out too. She had like a cool voice. But Moni Love just never happened. But that song was popular, and she rapped fast on it. It's cool. She's on a couple songs on Queen Latifah's albums, and I like hearing her. All right, 34. Heavy D and the Boys, Now That We Found Love. I think I even put this on the mentions on the Harmony video. But Heavy D, you know, the heavy guys can do fast raps for whatever reason. Big dudes, they can't run fast, but they could sure rap fast. Like 8-Ball. If 8-Ball would have been on this list if he came before Bone. But I had to get Heavy D in there for some reason. And if not for this one, I don't know if you remember the song, We Got Our Own Thing. Yeah, Heavy D. I never, it's funny. I didn't like Heavy D's first 3 albums, but his 4th album, Blue Funk, man, I had that album and I played that one a lot. And I think that was the one, I think he introduced Biggie on that album. I think the first song Biggie came out on was on that album. Much like the first song Nas came out on was on MC Search, Back to the Grill Again. So, Heavy D and the Boys, Now That We Found Love. It's your basic fat dude fast rap to a love song. There's a lot of songs like that, but yeah. And again, I enjoy the heavy dudes. Blue Funk was my joint. And yeah. 35, Eazy-E, Only If You Want It. All right, this is me being cute, being funny. I found out later on that Tretch wrote this. So Tretch was the ghostwriter for this song, and that's why you see that photograph of Eazy-E, Tretch, and Tupac. Because there's that interview with Busy Bone where he said that Tupac was on Ruthless Records for a very short period of time. So, yeah. Eazy-E, Only If You Want It. When that song came out, can I get it? Open up, easy, look it up, smoke it up, much dust like... Man, we all tried, all the kids on my block were trying to sing that song. We thought it was so cool that Eazy was doing this new kind of style. We were like, wait a minute, come on, E. What? How did you do this? And we found out that Tretch probably wrote it. So it's a cool song. I love the video. It's got hydraulics. Eazy-E looks cool in the video. Eazy-E's always cool. So, and I'm the Eazy-E fan. So I loved Only If You Want It. All right, 36, Shinehead, Give Me No Crack. This one I didn't come up with. I saw this on somebody else's list, so I just wanted to put it there just so that no one else would put it there. I remember Shinehead. I don't remember him being a big deal. Maybe he was bigger in other countries, or maybe, I don't know. But I do remember him with his glasses and his tiny nose. But that's Shinehead. Give Me No Crack. 37, Daddy Freddy. And this was just him performing at the world's fastest rapper on TV. I barely remember this. I stumbled upon this by accident. So I just threw Daddy. I think Daddy Freddy is most known for the song Haul and Pull It. I used to love that name. Haul and Pull It. Haul and Pull It. But I don't barely remember either. I just remember always seeing the name Haul and Pull It, Daddy Freddy. You couldn't have every single album back then. Like now, the entire music collection's available to us on the internet. You had to have somebody that had it, or you had to have it, and we didn't have jobs, so we didn't have money, so we only had what we had. You know what I'm saying? All right, 38, the McDonald's contest. Dude, this, I don't know how. Okay, first of all, let me ask, has anybody out there, do any of you remember this McDonald's contest? I think it was like by the grace of the universe that this fell into my possession. I mean, this came out, I must have been 9 years old. I wasn't really a newspaper reader. This came packaged with the Miami Herald, and I don't remember if my parents gave it to me, if they even realized that it was a record. It was made out of paper. It was paper, and it was folded in with the newspaper, just like the advertisements are. And I guess they gave it to me. They knew I was like a Happy Meal fan. Like I used to collect the Happy Meal toys. And I don't know if I found it, or if they found it, or if somebody in my block told me about it. But I looked at it, and it was a piece of paper, but it had grooves on it. And so I don't even know what possessed me to say, I wonder if this will play in my record player. So I brought it to my record player, and I popped it in. I put it on there, put the needle on it, and sound came out of it. It blew my mind. And I listened to it, and it was such a fast rap. And then I memorized all the lyrics. I remember I had to write it all down, and I kept holding my finger on the record so that it wouldn't move as I would write the lyrics. And because I wanted to memorize it, Big Mac McDLT, quarter pounder with some cheese, filet of fish, a hamburger, a cheeseburger, a Happy Meal. And I wanted to know the whole thing so bad. I listened to that record over and over again until I got it. And yeah, I was able to do it at one point, the whole entire song. but then when you know it, you want to like perform to people, and they're like, "Nah, I don't want to hear your McDonald's song, dude. Really, I don't care if you know the whole McDonald's menu." But I actually got to learn about menus. I didn't realize there was more than just cheeseburgers and French fries. So like when I memorized that whole song, I learned that there was hot cakes. I was like, what the heck's a hot cake? Oh, that's like a pancake. I'm like, why don't they call it a pancake? I don't know. They call it a hot cake. Okay. A fillet of fish. I'm like, what's a fillet of fish? Remember, I'm 9, right? Oh, it's like the fish sandwich. Oh, it's a fillet with a fillet. And for dessert, hot apple pies, Sundays 3 varieties. I'm like, Sundays 3 varieties. And they're like, yeah, that means that, there's a hot fudge sundae. There's 2 other kinds of sundaes, and that's called a variety. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I learned a lot from this McDonald's contest. Come to find out, this week when I was collecting these videos for this video, it was a play on of 39. Reunion made the song "Life Is a Rock," but the radio rolled me. And it's from 1974, and it's done in the same exact style, which this song is the first one, and McDonald's copied it. So there's that, which is kind of neat. So the fast rhyming goes back to 1974. And then when you hear that song too, the reunion version, you then think of Billy Joel, "We Didn't Start the Fire." I was going to put that in here, but there's 2 reasons I didn't. 1, it's not that fast. And then 2, it's embarrassing because I just remembered, I forgot what teacher had us memorize that song. It's just, I feel so corny singing it. I even made a couple rap songs in the same style of it, and I just feel dorky about that. 40, Young and the Restless, B-Girls. I don't know if this song ever hit your area, but man, if you come to South Florida and you see people that are about 40 years old, just go like this. B stands for, and I guarantee you people are going to stop what they're doing. Broncos, Benz, BMW, Bass, Band, goes to the parent bar. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it in South Florida. It's kind of like if you ever seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure when he goes to Texas and he goes, "The stars at night are big and bright." Clap, 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 deep in the heart of Texas. So if anybody lives in Texas, let me know if that actually would happen. I actually tried it recently, the B-Girls thing, and everybody still remembers B-Girls. Broncos, Benz, BMW, Bass. And this, yeah, check that video out. Young and Restless. I love Young and Restless, and I always compare them with Gucci Crew 2. I don't know if Gucci Crew 2 was ever a big deal for you, but Gucci Crew was the bomb for South Florida. They might be known for Sally, that girl. Sally, whew, that girl. And they had the Dating Game. They had a lot of tracks. But then, like, later on, they had Booty Shake, a whole bunch of them. I had all 4 of the Gucci Crew 2 albums. I never had... Actually, I had one of the, like, TFS and MCV. They made their own singles. I forget, they even changed the name. I had one of them on record. But anyway, that's Young and Restless, B-Girls. And we finish it off with 41 E40, Captain Save-A-Ho. And this one came out, I remember E40 the Mailman. And it's weird, like, it doesn't show up as the Mailman anymore. It's just the Federal. And the first magazine, the first Rap Pages magazine I ever got had E40 on the front. And it said that he was the $1 Million Man. And I was like, who is this guy? How is this guy making all this money? I never heard of him. And I wanted to learn everything about him. And then that same week, I got from Warner Brothers, it had it was called Captain Save 'Em Though. This is the clean version. And I just was so blown away by, because that particular song has him and the Click. And so you got The Shot, Be Legit, Sugar T. And I just fell in love with them. I ended up getting the Click album. I really annoyed my friends with E40's album after that, in a major way, with Sprinkle Me Mang. And then on the Click, you had Hurricane. Yeah, they definitely hated hearing E40 all the time. But Sprinkle Me Mang. 40 Water. Love the E40 before people knew about E40. But Captain Save 'Em Though, that was the jam. I had to make sure I got E40 in here because, like, as I was getting ready to wrap this list up, I was like, man, who did I forget that has to be on this? And I'm like, wait a minute, E40's not on here. And he's always kind of been considered a fast rapper. So I got E40 on there. Now, who did I miss? I have 41 artists, but probably really 39 because Kumo D's kind of on there twice. And You know, Mary Poppins, does she count? Does McDonald's count? And I think I had one other joke in there. And obviously, Eazy-E really doesn't count as a fast rapper. I tried to get a lot of them in there. There's a few I missed, like some real, like old time stuff I don't have in there. When I say old time, I mean it's not even rap. It's just people talking real fast. So what did I miss? How do you feel about this list? Also, from this list, who's your top 10 fast rappers before Bone? And yeah, who did I miss? What else should be there? Who should I have considered? Of all these rappers, and if anybody else you have that didn't make this list, who is the best fast rapper before Bone? That's your Bone question of the day. That'll also let me know if you made it this far in the video. So who do you think is the best fast rapper before Bone? And yeah, it was the Night Rider Express. That song was good, man. That was done in the style. And for my favorite, for the one that I nominate as the best rapper, fast rapper before Bone, I'm giving it to Tretch, Naughty by Nature. So it's no mistake that I put him as number one. You would think I would choose Chip Fu, but I think Tretch was more dynamic, more versatile, and pound for pound really should have been probably the best rapper of all time when you think about it. Tretch had it all. There's nothing Tretch didn't have. So Tretch is my choice. Who is yours? All right, well, this is my therapy. Thank you for going through my therapy with me. I got all this hip-hop knowledge built within me, and this is my outlet for it. We talk Bone Thugs, we talk hip-hop, and this relates to Bone because these are the architects that crafted that fast rap style before Bone had it, and we will see you in the next one.
Beyond the harmony for the fans we celebrate.